Good morning, all the students present in today's lecture of digital communication. Let's begin today's session. Is my voice properly audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Nirbhay, for the response. Let me share my screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, yesterday we have discussed a relationship between uncertainty and information, the basic concepts with regards to information content, amount of information, probabilities, and its relationship with uncertainty and information. And then we discussed about the binary symmetry channel, this one. So let me ask a very simple question from, let's say, Brijesh Kavar. Can you listen, Brijesh? Dwarkesh, can you listen? Yes, Dwarkesh, can you listen? Harsh, can you listen? Harsh Makaria. I will mark absent if you are there and do not answer. I will mark absent. Jash Dalal, are you there? Kushal Gajjar, can you listen?
Yes, sir.
Kushal, I hope you are able to view the screen. So,
Yes.
can you tell something about what you are observing in the screen? What is your understanding about what you are looking at? Tell me, Kushal.
Sir, I don't know.
You don't know? You were there yesterday class, you were there?
Yes, sir.
So then you should tell,
Sir, I don't
but
recall, sir.
you don't recall. Okay. Kashyap, Krishi, Odhani, Krishi.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain whatever is displayed right now at the screen?
Sir, I can't recall.
Okay. Actually, yesterday itself we have discussed, and it should be fresh in everyone's mind. It's okay, but at least your people are responding to my calling your name. That is the first step. Mayank Badaraka. Mayank, can you listen? Nandan Kakadia. Nidhai Pancholi.
Yes, sir.
Nidhai, can you tell what do you understand by whatever is displayed at the
Okay.
screen?
Yes, sir. So basically, the P is the probability that the symbol that we are trying to transmit will change at the receiver end, and the probabilities for that are given. So basically, let's say we have a symbol 0 at the transmission end, so it will have a probability of P that it will change to a 1 at the receiver end, and a probability of 1 minus P that a 0 will itself will be received.
Good, very good, Nidhai. I hope I am spelling your name correctly.
It's Nidhay, sir.
Nidhai. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Nidhai. Very good answer. And only one thing I would like to suggest you. We are not sure where the bit change is happening. It may be at the receiver side because of the receiver electronics, or it may happen during the channel transmission, channel properties. But we are assuming the error. So you missed the usage of word error. Actually, it is error. And the change is not something we are wanting for. It is unwanted. So 1 transmitted and it is perceived as 0 at the receiving side. Now that bit might have changed during the course of transmission through this channel. So there is a error probability P. But still I am happy with your answer. So this is a binary symmetric channel. And Nidhai, can you tell what are these probabilities, if you can?
Yeah, sir. So the first one is the probability that on the transmission end we receive a 0 when we know that at the sorry, sir. Let me reframe that, sir. The probability that at the receiver end we have a 0 when we know that at transmission end we have a 0.
We transmitted 0. Very good.
Yes.
So Py equal to 0 means probability of what we receive being 0, and actually given that x equal to 0 means given that this 0 was transmitted. So 0 transmitted, 0 received means it is a good transmission without any error. And what is the probability of that not having an error? 1 minus P. So you can see 0 to 0 and 1 to 1, they are mapped with the help of 1 minus P probability. Similarly, 1 to 0 or 0 to 1, it shows a error, and that probability of error is small p. So that's what 1 transmitted we know, but received or perceived as 0 at the receiving end is p. Similarly, the other two probability. Very good answer. So this what we discussed yesterday, and so with this channel values, what is the probability of y being 0? How would we come to know? We will come to know with the help of this formula. Py being 0 is 0 has to be transmitted. Na? So what is the probability of 0 being transmitted? Earlier we assumed that both are equiprobable. Okay, 0 or 1 at the transmitting side, both are equiprobable. If 10 bits are transmitted, 5 are 0, 5 are 1, assuming that they are equiprobable. So Px equal to 0 and multiply by you receive 0 given you transmitted 0. Now you are adding something to it. This is what actually was transmitted but incorrectly perceived as 0, because both will add to the actual probability of y being received at the 0 being received at the receiver side. Okay, so If I say P y equal to 0, what does it mean? Probability of the received bit as 0 is two cases. One is the right bit reception and another is the wrong bit reception. Both are actually leading to a probability of y being treated to 0. So ये तो पहला वाला जो है part, this is the correct transmitted, correctly received, multiply by what you are transmitting, उसका भी कुछ probability है. So you need to multiply with that probability plus the error transmission, which is also leading to a 0 reception at the at the receiving side. So in that case, what conditional probability we will use? P y equal to 0, given actually it was x equal to 1. So when you are using x equal to 1, you have to multiply with px equal to 1. Okay. So we know x equal to 0 or 1 means the transmitting side both are equiprobable. So we will write 0.5. Py0 given x0, we already know it is a correct transmission. Correct transmission probability is how much? 1 minus p plus 0.5 x equal to 0 ho, yeah 1. Both are equiprobable. So this is also 0.5. And this value we know it is a error transmission. Actually transmitted 1, received as 0. What is the probability of error in our binary symmetric channel? How we are designating? Small p. So 0.5 into 1 minus p plus 0.5 into p. This will come around, or not around, exactly as 0.5. What is the probability of receiving a bit 1? That will also, if you solve, it will come 0.5. So everybody is clear with this finding value of the probabilities related to reception of a bit 0 or bit 1 at the receiving side. If anyone has any doubt, please ask. Please raise your hand. Or not raise your hand, you just unmute yourself and ask. So no question is there. I believe this is pretty much clear. So with this, we move forward. So let's assume it is required to comment about what was transmitted at the transmitter based on observation which is made at the receiver. So if you observe a 0 at the receiver, you have to tell kya transmit hua hoga, right? What would have been transmitted at the transmitter? How would you tell that? So in order to do so, we have this mutual information about the occurrence of the event x equal to 0, given that y equal to 0 is observed. So you need to go back and look at the formula. Just go back this formula. I xi yj is log of pxi given yj divided by pxi. So we'll use this formula to satisfy this question's requirement. Mutual information. And why mutual is there? Because there is conditional probability. There is strong relationship existing between two events. What is the event? Reception of certain bit. How it is related to the other event? Other event is the transmission of the bits. Obviously, what you transmit, you are expecting it to receive. So your reception is strongly in correlation with what you are transmitting. But because of practicality, noise is there, error is happening. So we need to look at the associated parameters. Are we good, students? So silence means I believe it is okay, but rather I would appreciate if you can say something. So the mutual information about the occurrence of the event x equal to 0, given that you have observed y equal to 0. So I x0 colon semicolon y0 x0, y0 both are 0, 0. So I0, comma 0 is according to that formula log pxi yz divided by pxi था, तो यहाँ पे py equal to 0 given, x equal to 0 and divided by py equal to 0. Py equal to 0, just before this slide we have calculated, it came around, not around, it came actually exactly 0.5. So this 1 minus p divided by 0.5, and the same we can write as log 2. 0.5 we can take up as 2, so log 2 1 minus p. Similarly, the mutual information about the occurrence of event x equal to 1 given that y equal to 0 was observed. So here we need to, we understand this is an error. What is the associated probability with the error? P. Okay, so in this formula we write the appropriate expression P of y being 0 given x equal to 1 divided by py equal to 0. So you put the value p because it is associated with the error and divided by 0.5. 0.5 pi y equal to 0 we just obtained last slide. So this will come log 2p, log base to 2p. So take three values of p, 0, 0.5 and 0.1 and find the I mutual information. Tell me, I am waiting for 30 seconds and what this value is coming. So p equal to 0 means there was no error, and if a channel has no error, what does it mean? It is a noiseless channel. There was no noise, so that error can happen. So in that case, what was the information? 1 bit. When p equal to 0.5, your information is, you can see 0. You can see 0. And p equal to 0.1, if you put, information is 0.848 bits. Okay, so this is how the information, mutual information, is varying with the probability of error. Okay. So basically, information theory, it deals with three basic concepts: the measure of source information, capacity of the channel, and the coding part of it. So this unit is information theory and coding. So we have discussed concepts about information theory, and later on we will also see the coding part of it, right? Source coding, channel coding, etc. What is the measure of source information? The rate at which the source generates the data, how much information is being generated, what is the capacity of the channel, how much it can carry for a reliable communication, for a reliable transmission. What is the meaning of reliable transmission? If I ask you, this is a reliable communication, how do you define it as a communication engineer? Anyone would like to give an answer? Or reliability, what is your understanding of reliability?
Sir, we can define that the information transmitted would be correct.
Will be correct, yes. So very good. Who was it?
Aditya.
Very good. So reliable for us is actually a representation of the degree of performance of the communication system or the channel. Degree of performance, it can be bit error rate, If the bit error rate is very less, we are saying it is highly reliable channel. It is highly reliable communication with a very less bit error rate. So bit error rate, suppose you transmitted 1000 bits and only one bit gets corrupted. So bit error rate will be 1 every 1000 bits, right? So we say it is a highly reliable, transmission, highly reliable communication section. We say that. So there is a degree of acceptance of the performance of the channel beyond which we say we should not transmit at a very high data rate or with very high content. That limit is actually we are calling as information capacity. There is a maximum rate beyond which we should not cross it. Otherwise, error will happen and it will be a complete mess. Coding, it teaches us about how to efficiently use the available channel capacity, or we also call this as bandwidth, right? So what bandwidth is available to you, that is actually decided by the type of channel. And you can take an example like optical fiber has very high bandwidth, then you have a normal copper wire, it has a less bandwidth, like that. So what maximum bandwidth is available to us, how much fast or with very high data rate, how much we can transmit the data, there is a cap on that also based on the channel we have selected. So given limitations on the transmission rate, do we have any mathematical measures to efficiently use? So that is actually the coding part. Now in coding, there are huge involvement of redundancy. So certain times we will introduce redundancy, certain times we will remove the redundancy. So you may wonder that redundancy introduction as well as removal, both is helping us in a better utilization of channel capacity for a better transmission. We'll look early, upcoming content. So if the rate of information from a source, it lies under the channel capacity, then there exists a coding technique such that what is the condition? The information can be sent over channel with arbitrarily small frequency of errors, even under noise presence. Okay, so very less, 10,000 bits, only 1 bit error will happen, something like that, some figure. In fact, it is even beyond that. Okay, so if you look at this equivalent noiseless channel, you have a source, you are doing something with the source bits, then you are feeding it to a unit which is known as channel encoder. It is doing something with what source encoder has done with the actual source bits, and then we are transmitting over a channel we are calling as noisy channel. Then we are decoding it, and then again we are decoding at the source level. Okay, so you can see this dotted rectangle we are calling as noiseless channel, equivalent noiseless channel. What is there inside? Some scheme which is removing the or mitigating the effects of the noisy channel. So a channel encoding, noisy channel, and channel decoding are actually equivalent to a noiseless channel. So we believe whatever encoding scheme, channel encoding scheme we will use, it will remove the impact or the effect of the noise which is present in the channel. So that is what channel encoding is doing. Source encoding is also helping us. So the source coding helps to match source to noise channel. Channel coding helps to perform task of error control. We'll look into it very detailed. We will look into different schemes of encoding in very detail. Okay, that time it will be clearer. Now, if I1 and I2 are the information which are corresponding to M1 and M2 messages. Then the amount of information which is carried mixed in a mixed fashion due to M1 and M2, you will simply add I1 and I2. This is the rule. The proof, if M1 is, if assume that M1 and M2 are independent, that we have to assume. Messages M1 and M2 are independent, hence the probability of composite messages P1, P2. Therefore, the information which is carried compositely due to M1 and M2 is information corresponding to M1 message, let it is P1 probability, P1 M1 message ka probability of occurrence is P1, M2 message probability of occurrence is P2. So corresponding information is just the log 1 upon P1. So compositely, so I1, 2 is log, the composite probability is P1, P2, they are independent. So log 1 upon P2, 1 upon P2, and log of A dot B is log A plus B. So log 1 over P1 plus log 1 over P2. So this is I1 plus I2. So the composite information, total information is the sum of the individual information carried by two independent messages or more independent messages. Relationship, dependence should not be there between those two messages. Now this is a very simple but important example. Everyone should pay attention to it. The statement is like the probability that a student passes n, this is not end, this is n, okay. The probability that a student passes in an exam given that he has studied is 0.9. So I think this number is okay. If a student studies well, 90% times he will pass the exam. 10% maybe some factors might be there. Okay. The probability that he has passed the exam without studying is 0.2. That also we know very few lucky people are there, and without studying they are managing to pass. So the number you can see is very less, 0.2. This is some number, okay. This for the sake of this understanding of this concept, some numbers we have taken, okay. So one student studied and got passed, 0.9. Student didn't study, still passed, 0.2, less in number. Assume that the probability that this student has studied is 0.6. What is the amount of information you receive? When you receive, if you are told that student has passed the examination, okay, if two people are talking, one of the people tells the other person, pointing at some third person, then he has, he has passed the examination, and given that the student has studied is 0.6 probability, how much information you are receiving? That much attention you will pay to the person who is saying that he has passed the examination. Also, what is the amount of information if you are told that he studied for the exam? So everyone is clear with this question?
Yes, sir.
So this is the simple solution for that. Let capital A is the event that student passes the exam. Capital B is the event that student studies. So as per the data given in the question, P of A given B, A is what event? Student passes the exam. So probability of a student passing the exam given that he studied, how much it was? 0.9. A student passed the exam given he did not study for it is 0.2. Both are given to us. So B bar represents the student did not study. B did not, student studied. Okay, so this is B bar. Okay, just the complement of this, the reverse of this. Also given probability that the student studies is given. These three are given 0.6. So probability that student did not study is 0.4. Okay. So this is data which is we gathered from the given question. Now, since B and B bar, they are mutually exclusive. They are not, I mean, someone studies, someone did not study. Probability that student passes. So PA only we have to find. How would we calculate probability that a student passes? A is the event that student passes the exam. So what is the probability of student passing an exam? So PA will be under what condition student will pass the exam? जहां पे ये आएगा PA given B, PA given B bar. Means all those students who studied or not studied but yet they passed, multiplied by the probability of whether they study or not study. Once again, a probability that student passes the exam, PA, this is total probability. So how many students passing, on what factors it depends? या तो student पढ़ा होगा या नहीं पढ़ा होगा, but still the student managed to pass. So you can see PA given B, PA given B bar. Now this event B or B bar has its own probability. PB is 0.6 as given in the question, this one, and P bar we have obtained by 1 minus 0.6, so 0.4. So you put these values 0.6 into 0.9 plus 0.4 into 0.2, you will get 0.62. So this is the probability of a student passing the exam. अब ये इतना सारा क्यों calculation आया? Because it is not a simple process. We know few students study, few students do not study. We know few students study still because of some factor they are not able to pass. We also know students do not study well, but still they manage to pass sometimes. This is a hypothetical situation. Okay. So that's why we have a mixed, response. We have a mixed information. So hence when any student, when passes an exam, how much information is related to it? IA. A is the event that the student passes the exam is log base 2 1 over PA. So this will come 0.689 bits. Also, amount of information when given that student studies for the exam, IB is so 0.737 bits. Is this question clear to the solution clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Though you may be wondering, I mean, where we can actually use this passing and all. This is just an example, but when it comes to actual data transmission, we will have conditional probabilities. There we will have an easy placement of our understanding in that situation. So I believe it is clear to everyone. I'll share this PDF to people and you can also refer to it. Now next is your average information. So you have seen self information, you have seen mutual information. Now it is time to look at the average information content. So average information content of symbols in long independent sequences. Entropy, it is referring to entropy. Now, when the moment the word average comes means there will be some m number of samples and then we need to take the average of that. So different number of messages will be there. So consider that we have capital M different messages represented by small m symbol with subscript 1, 2, 3 till capital M. Okay, so M1 say MM, you have total m different messages. Each message has its own probability of occurrence. Like consider it with a normal internet traffic flow which is happening. So every data which is traveling over the internet on the communication media has some probability. If people are more fond of searching for food items, say for example in Gandhinagar. So the amount of the information related to this food information flowing on the internet will have very high probability, right? Because more people are searching for food items. Say people in Ahmedabad, they are looking for more of financial data on internet. So that kind of messages will be, in a very high probability they would be available on the transmission in the channel. So this is just a very obvious situation you can imagine. So you have m different messages and with each with different probability, right? Because the question should come, why messages have different probability? Because of the nature of the communication. Now suppose that a sequence of capital L messages is transmitted. Okay, total m different messages are available and a sequence of capital L messages out of this capital M messages has to be transmitted. And if L is very large, what we can say, if we randomly select messages from the available pool, each message will be transmitted with its own probability multiplication. So if total L messages you are transmitting, what is the probability of having, how much is M1 will be present? How much probable is M1? So P1 into L. Similarly, if M2 messages are there in the capital L messages, how much of those M2 messages will be there? Depending on the probability of occurrence of M2. If it is more of M2 messages will be there in the entire L messages, and so on. Are we good, students?
Actually not, sir. Can you explain the last line, please?
Okay, yeah, please, yeah. So suppose you are transmitting 6 messages. Let's take L equal to 6 messages you are transmitting. Now, what are the available different messages? You will pick from those messages, right? L is a very large number, I understand, but for the sake of understanding, take some number. Now the moment I believe this is the total messages this is the information which is flowing on the channel, and someone asks you how much of M1 would be there in this transmission, in this communication session. How much of M2 content is there in this entire sequence of L messages. तो जिसका प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ अकरेंस सबसे ज्यादा होगा वही सबसे ज्यादा मैसेज आपका चैनल पे होगा, isn't it?
Yes.
है ना? So we are multiplying this L messages by P1. तो अगर L 6 है और मान लीजिए P1 is 0.3, है ना? So out of 6 messages कितना हो गया? 1.8 of M1. I mean, it is a pointer to M1. Similarly, if M2 message का जो occurrence है, यानी कि, so for example, more people are searching for food in Gandhinagar region. Less number of people are searching for, say, travel. So the people searching for the food items, the messages, associated messages will have very high probability. And if you take random samples of say 100 messages, it is highly probable that food related message, the data will be more available in that group of 100 messages, 100 samples. Less number will be there for travel. So it depends on the P1 and P2, the message occurrence probability. So message here means the data which is actually flowing over the channel. So I hope it is clear now. Okay, now still doubt is there?
No doubt, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is average information content started. So now what is the information individually due to message M1? M1 का occurrence of probability of occurrence is P1. So I1 will be log base 2 1 over P1. Now since there are how many number of messages of M1, itna uska probability. So your P1L number of messages of M1. Similarly for M2, P2L number of messages of M2 in the total amount of information. So I1 total is P1L into I1. This I1. Yani jo total I1 information is available, only P1 into L or portion of that is the total information with regards to I1. Similarly for I2, P2L into log base 2 1 over P2. Are we good? So I believe it's clear. We are good. If you have any doubt, you can ask. And we have seen in the last slide, this one, I1 comma 2 means usually independent messages. The in total information is the sum of all the information. This we have seen I1 plus I2. So where is that? Yeah. So this is I1 total, I2 total. So total amount of information, entirely available because of the L messages. Total sequence कितना लेंथ था? Capital L messages. वो किसका मिक्सचर था? M1, M2, M3, M4, MM. How much content of those messages was there? It depended on their probability. Okay. So the average information per message will be the total information I1, I2, IM1 total divided by number of messages. That we are calling as entropy. Entropy we represent with a letter capital H. So if someone asks you what is the entropy, what do you mean by entropy? Entropy is the average information per message. So H, in this case, you put the total information as I total. How many messages were there? Capital L. So you have formula for entropy as K equal to 1 to capital M P log 1 over Pk. From where this P has come? Here you can see this one, P1, P2. That's why P1 log 1 over P1 plus P2 log 1 over P2 plus P3 log 1 over P3. That will be your entropy. I think we stop, take a pause at this point. And if you have any query, please ask, or else we are good to finish this session. Let me take attendance. Any query is there? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, Aditya. And I believe we are all sailing through a very nice pace. But please do let me know if you have any observation. In that case, so session is over. Thank you.